Thanks for joining Syner-Qi. I appreciate your working on yourself, and I aim to give you a very simple form that I think can balance you out very quickly. Let me just say that I've been teaching for many decades, and I always tell my students, you need a map and you need a method. So the map is the aspect of Tao cosmology, the story of how the Qi flows and how we got here and where we're going. That's the map. And the method is the particular Qigong form or Neigong meditation or Neidang internal alchemy, process that you're going to use. In this case, I'm taking my map from the I Ching. So this is the 8 trigrams. This is called the prenatal or the early heaven arrangement. Okay, and the I Ching is very interesting. These 8 trigrams are spiraling, and there's a counter spiral of 8 other trigrams, and they together multiply up to 64 hexagrams. Hex means 6. Okay, so it combines the upper and lower, left and right, whatever, and there's 64 different combinations. There's at least 3 books written about the connection between the I Ching and our DNA, which has 64 codons. And the general theme is that this is a map of all possible changes. So what's interesting about the I Ching, okay, which goes back to about 1100 BC, the earliest version of it, is that there are 60 hexagrams, which represent the 5 elements and the 12 animals. 5 elements times 12 is 60. So there's 60 cycles there. The Chinese calendar is based on that. But then there's 4 other hexagrams, and those are the cardinal directions of the whole 64 I Ching. But in the trigrams, they are heaven and earth. 3 solid lines is heaven, 3 broken lines, yin is earth, and then we have mixtures of yin and yang, fire and water. So I'm going to focus today on these cardinal directions of heaven and earth and fire and water, because they are what control and balance out the other 60 hexagrams of change. The calendar changes, the cyclical changes of the 5 elements from heaven and the 12 animals from earth. The 12 animals is just the Chinese geocentric zodiac. The Western zodiac comes from the sky and the star zodiac, but the Chinese 12 animals is embedded inside the earth. So we're headed, like in this next year, we're headed into the year of the fire horse. Everybody will be in the year of the fire horse for 1 entire year. Okay. Very different from the Western astrology. But no matter what phase you're in, which animal, which element, heaven and earth and fire and water are holding, you could say, the cauldron of transformation. They're holding the space. And if you have a clear sense of heaven and earth and fire and water in your personal energy body, you are good. Okay. You're going to be able to find what happens is it forms a cross, okay? Vertical and horizontal. And of course, you have the cross as a universal symbol in many religions. In Christianity, they borrowed it from earlier esoteric groups. And the vertical represents the heaven axis and the horizontal represents the earthly axis. And the meeting point in the center is divine enlightenment, divine love, grace. Okay. The Egyptians have the Ankh, and again they have a loop around the top which represents the neutral force. It's not just, but it's still a cross. Okay. So the neutral force is the 3rd force in addition to the yin and yang. Okay. And that's a basic alchemical map. So. Well, what's important here? Okay, let's just be clear that these are just symbols, okay? The reason we do a form, a movement form, is to download the power of these symbols into our personal energy body. Our energy body is just the sum total of all of our meridians, the 12 organ spirits, the 8 extraordinary vessels, the 3 deep core channels are the main channels that I work with when I'm teaching. So one of the points I want to make about movement, its value is that it activates what we call the Jing level, the substance level, okay? So you have Jing, Qi, and Shen, they're the same thing, it's just the metaphors use solid ice, liquid water, or moisture vapor. And it's just water changing, states depending on its vibration. So movement moves the density of our body, okay? And that's its big values, it gives us immediate health benefits, okay? And it grounds us, okay, in whatever pattern of the cosmological map that we're activating. But a lot of people have the idea based on Western exercises and Western sports that Qigong is just like another exercise, and it's not really, okay? Think of it as a language. You are, with your movements, you're communicating like the alphabet or the grammar. You're telling the Qi what to do. You're telling the Qi to move up, you're telling the Qi to move down, you're telling the Qi to expand or condense. That's what it is. These are commands that you're giving or request to the Qi field. And then the Qi field is kind of just neutrally waiting everywhere inside of you and outside of you and going, okay, boss, what do you want? Okay, I'm here to serve you. So when you do this repeatedly as a ritual, as a ceremony of practice every day, you're training the life force, the Qi field, to accommodate your request. And in this case, establish balance between heaven and earth and fire and water, the 4 cardinal points of all change. That's an amazing power to develop, okay? You can learn to talk to the life force that way. You don't need any high priest. You don't need an instructor. You don't need anything between you and the life force. It's direct, okay? That's why I never take on titles. I don't want people elevating me. I want them to connect directly to the life force, okay? So no master titles, no guru titles, none of that stuff. I'm not interested in putting myself between you and the life force. I just want to give you the tool how to connect in a very simple way, okay? Now, in this case, the Qigong form that we're going to be working with is a custom one that I use. I took pieces from 3 other Qigong forms, okay? So that's just to save you time and get you to focus on these heaven, earth, fire, water patterns. You may want to combine this form with other forms you know or do, or you may be interested in getting to know these other longer forms. That's fine, whatever you choose. Everybody's got their own level of discipline and how much time they're going to commit to their practice. But in this case, I want to leave you with something that's short and simple and powerful, and that will center you very quickly, okay? And that's the most important thing, is that you get centered, okay? It's not about super yang expansion or totally yin guarding, and holding yourself. It's finding the balance point between yin and yang and all movements and all dimensions. And that center point here is when you learn to balance fire and water and heaven and earth, you will be centered, okay? And that will radiate out to all your other practices, into your body, to your health, your mental, emotional states, your sexual energy states, your relationships. I mean, centering, goes with you everywhere you go and everything you do. So it's fantastic. All right. I think that covers the kind of overview here. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to get some space here so that you can see my body. So the 3 forms we're going to use are deep earth pulsing, Wu Qigong, or what I call primordial Tai Chi, and open Qi flow in the orbit. So this is the first one. There's a whole 10-minute video on YouTube showing how to do this, but I'm just going to go through it really quickly here. And this is grounding. This is connecting your personal energy body down to the earth element, okay? And you can call it Gaia, the Chinese will call it Pangu, the being of the earth. And it's just like walking in place. It's so super simple, okay? But I always recommend, and I always do for myself, I do this deep earth pulsing before I meditate, before I do any Qigong form. And the key thing here is that one side of your body totally sinks, the other side is rising up. And then you shift over. That side, the opposite side sinks down, the hand and foot, and the other side rises up. And it's simultaneous. So one side is rising and one side is sinking. And the big movement comes from your hip joint here. This is the biggest joint in your body. It's a big socket joint. And when you open and close this, it starts pumping Qi up from the earth into your pelvic area, into your spine, into your upper body organs, okay? So just feel this for a moment here. Just go up and down. Feel that joint, just be aware of it. And then start shifting from one side, opening it on one side, shifting the other side, closing, and then reopening it. So just totally feel the power of that big joint opening and closing. And once you've got that down, and that feels natural, just let your hands and relax. You don't have to hold the inguinal groove there, okay? That's just the mechanical part of it. So the energetic part, okay, is that your mind is going with the Qi down to the center of the earth and then down the other side. You focus completely, 100% on the sinking side, okay? And then you get the upper body involved. So the arms are now helping the Qi sink down. See, when you first start off, it's just the legs and the hip joint opening and closing. And then you bring in the hands to help sink that Qi to go down. Most of us don't want to go down. We always want to go up. Okay. And we're told that hell is down there, or we're told all kinds of stuff. It's not true generally, okay? There is fires down there. We know there's volcanic fires, but that's not real hell. That's just part of the dynamic of the earth. And we're going to go past the water on the surface of the earth, past the fire, the volcanic lava in the middle plane of the earth. And we're going to go into the neutral core. We're going to go into the point which is midway between the North Pole and the South Pole. And we can call that the heart womb of Gaia. She bursts everything from that center point. All the 8 billion souls on the surface, the 30 billion species, everything, all is radiating from that center point. So all we're going to do is think about that point, and we're going to give ourselves a target. See a gold pearl there, okay? And you now start to send your Qi down to that gold pearl. And that gives you a place to focus and connect your Qi to. %, focus on the sinking side. The other side will just float up automatically. It's just like a yin-yang thing. Like one side sinks, the other side goes up. It's just self-balancing. It's automatic. It's easy. It's effortless. Okay. Now, a couple of things. You do not want to raise your hands above your heart because the Qi will start to disperse. We're going to modify this form to bring heaven down, but in the first phase, we don't want to go above your heart, okay? So you keep it down from the heart or solar plexus area. The second point is you make sure your hands go straight out in front of you, okay? You don't want to go out to the side or cross into the center. Now you're invading the center line, and or you're dispersing your Qi out to the side. No. you want to be activating these deep channels here on the left and right sides of your body. And that means going out straight in front of your body. And then taking the Qi in and pushing it down your leg, down towards the center of the earth. Yeah. Put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. That connects the head down to the lower part of the body. And relax, smile down into the center of the earth, down to the heart womb of Gaia, Mother Earth. When you were born, you came in through that point. You came down through the stars, through the sun, through the planets, into the heart of the earth, and then from there to your parents who were copulating, sperm and egg, and then your soul bonded, sparked those two to merge together and form a new being. But you had to come in through earth in order to earn a place on the surface of the earth. Gaia has, this is a filter. That's why aliens can't move here and they can't invade the earth. They don't have permission from Gaia. So we're good, okay? Just be grateful you're a human. Special privileges here. But now you're going back to that fertility point. You came in through Gaia. She decided if you were going to be a male or a female, because she has to keep yin yang balance on the surface. And so half of us got males and half of us got females. And it doesn't matter if you have some other identity issue, your body's going to be basically male or female. Yeah. So once you've got the mechanics down, then you can really start to focus on the energetics, going down to the gold pearl at the center of the earth, and just feeling that your personal energy body is connected to the energy body, the planetary energy body of Gaia. So this is the first step. We're going to get really super grounded here. It's super simple, super easy. And it's starting to open up the left and right core channels. And these two channels also connect to our ancestors, okay? In the Daoist model, the right side of your body is yin. It has your female ancestors. And the left side of your body, where the heart is yang. And it's where you store patterns of your male ancestors. But don't get too distracted by that right now. Just know that you're balancing everything. You're taking it down to a single point of consciousness in the heart womb of Gaia. Once you're really comfortable with this, you can close your eyes and do it. And that makes it easier sometimes to focus deep inside the earth. And remember, there's no travel time from the surface of the earth down to the center of the earth. It is instantaneous because the Qi field is like a net or a network. It's everywhere, from the surface all the way down to the core. All you're doing is just instantly shifting your focus into the center of that network. You don't have to travel from the surface down there. You just go, okay, I'm going to be in the center right now. And you're there instantly. And you're pulsing in your Qi, connecting in to the golden Qi ball there of Gaia. Hip joints. As they lift up, the arms float up on that energy. Hip joints open, the arms are doing like 10%. The hip joints doing like 90% of the heavy lifting. And it just creates a wave of Qi rising up, and the arms, the shoulders just ride that Qi. But your focus is not on the rising, it's on the sinking. Now this can, alone, this one movement can be very transformational. But let's just say you do it for a couple of minutes. When you're first training, you have to do it for a little bit longer to get your mind to focus down deep into the earth. Okay, it takes a little bit longer time because you're usually distracted, floating around on the surface, looking here and there at all these bright, shiny objects. So this is really takes some refocusing. Tongue on the roof, smile on your face, and just taking a walk deep down, walking down, deep, deeper, deeper, deeper each step. Instead of walking forward, you're walking down. You can do this outside, you can do it inside, you can do it facing any direction, it does not matter. And once you start to feel like you're solidly connected, then you can begin to shift into, we'll call it phase 2. Phase 1 is the deep earth pulsing. Phase 2, you keep this same rhythm here. This left to right, yin-yang, balanced rhythm here, which is, of course, the weight shift. The down is the yin, and the light foot coming up is the yang in this case. And the more you do it, any imbalances you have between your ancestors and the left and right channels, any physical or biological issues you've got, they start to be bathed in this balanced flow of deep core yin-yang qi flow. And that initiates a process of healing already, just from this. Sometimes it's good. If you feel tension, just let it out with a sigh. It's not a breathing exercise. You do not have to breathe up or down. It's not controlled by breath. If you spontaneously start to breathe down and then come in, up, and breathe down the other side, that's fine. But your breath is following the movements. It's not guiding or leading it. All right, now to shift to phase 2. All you do is just raise up one hand and you come down. I'll step back a little bit further so you can see that. And now instead of going from below your heart, your solar plexus down, you're reaching up to the high heavens and you're gathering the qi from one side and guiding it down the other side of your body. And this is a movement from Wu Qigong, also known as primordial Tai Chi, which is available on my website with a lot of information about it. But this is just the one movement here that we're going to use to bring in the heaven axis. Okay, we had already strengthened our connection to Earth, and now heaven is coming down, but it's balancing. Now, what's happening here by doing these two movements here? We have two circles is really what we're doing, and this forms is called a vesica Pisces. Two circles that meet halfway. Okay, the vesica is the eye of it. The Pisces is basically it's like yin and yang form, couple halfway, and in the middle is a neutral space. So this is very, very old, okay? Yeah. This is very, very old. This Vesica Pisces is considered to be one of the key, most important shapes of sacred geometry, okay? So all that happens here is that we're doing one side of the Vesica Pisces and then the other, and that's creating this Vesica Pisces by still giving us the yin-yang balance left and right. So it's got the same deep earth pulsing. We're still going down to the gold pearl, down, down, down at the center of the earth, only we're starting up higher, and we're bringing qi down the opposite side channel. And the act of bringing the qi down the opposite side channel starts to create an alchemical dynamic a polarity reversal. Right side becomes coming down the left side coming down the right side. And these causes an interaction between yin and yang that is neutralizing each other and building up the neutral force in the center of this Vesca Pisces. Okay, this center place here, which covers all three of our Dantians, the head, the heart, and the belly, is being strengthened, the vertical axis of our energy body, but we're just doing it from one side to the other. Still smiling, still have your tongue touching the roof of your mouth, still having 100% weight shift, still focusing on sending the chi down to the sinking side. And the main difference is just we're bringing a different frequency of chi down from heaven. Again, the movement is just natural communication using nature's chi language, guiding the chi from heaven down the pathway, down left or right core channel of our body, down the leg, down into the center of the earth. One side is sinking, the other side is going up. Okay. This is not, I'm doing one and then do. It's not A then B. It's A is sinking, B is rising. B is sinking, A is rising. It's simultaneous, just like the deep earth pulsing. And make sure that you don't get lazy. Some people like start to go like this. Oh, like a hand goes right in front of their face, and it's like they're too tired to actually tell the life force, I actually want the high level chi up there. You have to reach up to it and say, heaven, hey, I want some heaven chi coming down through my body. And this is my job as a human. I am mediating between heaven and earth. But if you just start to go like this, and the life force goes, oh, you don't really want the heaven chi, you want some like low astral crap, you know, what do you want? No, you need to give it very clear communication that you are coming down from the highest heavens down into the deep heart womb of Gaia. And it is passing through your human body, which transforms it. When heaven and earth copulate and they have a human body in the middle, something magical happens. It's just like heaven and earth are our parents, and their child is empowered. We have the energy of heaven, we have the energy of earth in us, and we have the ability to fuse them together in a unique way that heaven and earth cannot do by themselves. So that's quite an amazing power humans have. Many people don't realize that, but we do. So this is the top and the bottom, the heaven and earth axis joining, okay? And then you can relax for a second and we'll go into phase 3. But just stop and just feel the energy first of this. Just notice what's vibrating. And just kind of scan inside, open your armpits. The chi can flow down through your arms as well. And just scan all the way down into the gold pearl at the core of the earth. Now, some people like to create a pearl in heaven as a target as well. And that's also fine. The color that would normally be used in the Daoist cosmology, the Daoist map, would be a purple pearl that's connected with the pole star, which is what all the other stars kind of rotate around, and it's considered to be the kind of the ruler of the human destiny, the highest destiny. So you could be bringing down a purple stream of light and chi vibration if that feels comfortable for you, okay? And I recommend you try it. I like it myself, okay? But ultimately, of course, the chi of heaven is formless, but from the earth perspective, we can give it a color. It has a vibrational color. All colors give jing, they give a sense of substance to any type of chi. So you could be having purple chi coming down both sides, left and right, down into mix with the gold of earth, of Gaia. I'm going to stop again and just feel that. See how that feels. Breathe up and down your core channel. From the center of the earth, up through all three dantins, up above your head, to your purple or guide star up above. Exhale back down. And just feel, open your core channel. Feel your energy body expanding wider. And your core channel is the neutral force in the middle. It's not heaven, it's not earth, it's just the core of the source energy, okay? Beyond heaven and beyond earth is expanding because we've balanced yin and yang, heaven and earth. And just breathe up and down that expanded wide tube in the center of your body. Okay. Shake your arms out and legs out. Just walk around just to get loosened up here for a second here. All right. Now we're going to do fire and water. So the water is the other two horizontal directions. They also represent male and female, okay? And so all of us have got some unique relationship to our male side and to our female side. Everybody has got both. Just because you're in a male body or female body doesn't mean you're all male or all female, okay? So your soul is bisexual, let's just say. It's got male and female. Your physical body is going to be primarily, it's going to be gender specific, male or female. But so we're working with the deep channels here, the 8 extraordinary vessels, which are the soul channels. So they're not gendered, okay? These deep channels, okay? So the three forces, yin, yang, and yuan, they have heaven, earth, and humanity. They step themselves down into this plane, and to get down, they have to separate their vibration into these 8 extraordinary vessels. Now, the genius of the Chinese is that they say, okay, how do we make 8 of these things? It's a little bit complicated. How do we just make it simple? And so what they do is they say, oh, let's take 2 of them, the front channel, which is water, and the back channel of the spine, which is fire, and let's get those to exchange. And then those will radiate to the other 6. And in fact, of course, we're already activating the other channels left and right through the heaven and earth movements and the deep earth pulsing, okay? So it's not like we've ignored those other 6 channels. We just didn't necessarily label them as the part of the 8 extraordinary vessels, but they are. But in this case, fire and water are considered to be like our primary orientation, okay? We have our feelings, we connect with things in our front, and then information goes up the spine to the brain, okay? And it can flow both ways, okay? It's not just a one-way flow. It can flow both ways, okay? This is one of the aspects of the Daoist cosmology, okay? Which is that, everything can find its own path as long as it's balanced. So it doesn't matter whether you come up the front and go down the back, or come up the back and go down the front. But we're going to make it simple and use the most common pathway, which is up the spine and then down the front. When you're practicing, you can reverse this if you want. Okay, I'm just saying, some people feel more comfortable. Often women sometimes feel more comfortable with the water channel in front, and men more comfortable with the fire channel in back. But once they start flowing, they're exchanging, and it doesn't really matter. They're starting to neutralize each other and expand the core neutral space, the center space of our body. Okay, so we've already got our sense of vertical center, okay, balancing above and below. And now we're looking at it from the side here, okay, we're going to start making it front to back, okay. So this is, we start off with the navel center, okay. And again, let's use a gold pearl here, okay, to give it substance, to give it a sense of what we're doing. We're moving this gold pearl, and we're just rotating it in place here at first. There's a big gold pearl. You expand your energy body, and you're starting to rotate this gold pearl. It's not going in an orbit. It's not going up or down. It's just turning in place. And in the traditional Daoist cosmology, this would go 72 times. That's the number of Earth. You're building your personal Earth here. But that's optional, let's just say. You're rotating, and what this ball is doing is connecting the front channel, and it's big enough to connect the spine channel in the back, water channel in the front, and in the core to the perineum and the solar plexus, the neutral channel. Okay? So by turning the chi ball, we're starting to connect all three channels and blend them together inside of this gold pearl. And again, your breathing follows the movement. It does not guide it. And from the front, it looks like this. So after you've done this for a while and you feel like you're starting to build up some concentrated energy inside this gold pearl, in what's called the lower dantian, the lower elixir field. Dantian is an alchemical term, not a martial arts term, not a medical term. It's alchemy, elixir field. Okay, Dan is the elixir. And what the elixir we're forming here is in the center of the cross. Okay, you have a cross, and at that meeting point where heaven and earth and fire and water form, something congeals. That is the elixir. Okay, so we're just laying a foundation for this. First vertically between heaven and earth, and now horizontally between fire and water, the spine and the front channel of the chest. It's called the Ren and the Du channels. Conception vessel is in the front. And then we're going to take this pearl and start to move it as if it was moving in an orbit. You take it up to your solar plexus. It becomes a little bit smaller, and it moves down to your perineum and comes up to your solar plexus. You're holding it between your hands. And what the pearl is doing is breaking up any blockages in these deep channels. And when you break up those blockages in the deep channels, that overflows into the 12 regular organ meridian channels. and helps them break up their blockages. Because the yin and yang energy of fire and water is very powerful and can dissolve all kinds of blockages and traumas and stuck energy, okay? And you take it up a little bit higher, up to your heart, the back of your heart, center of your heart, front of your heart, and then down. And what's particularly important at the heart center is the back of the heart, because we have a lot of shadow side feelings and patterns that we hide back there. In other words, we show ourselves in front, we think ourselves loving, we radiate out this friendly, heart-centered person, but behind us, there's some shadowy things like, I don't really like you, or I hate you, even though I'm telling you that I'm the most loving person in the world. So this is just a polarity that happens in almost everybody. No big deal. But now we're taking the pearl through it, and we're breaking it up, we're circulating through it to break that up. And you just smile to your heart and just feel it breaking open, chi flowing through it more easily. And after you've done that one for a while, you go up to the next level and go up to your throat, the back of the throat, the center of the throat, front of the throat. And again, you break up any blockages, front and back channels, but particularly in the throat area. We're using the power of the fire and the water here, mixing them together, and together they can dissolve all of these blockages. And the throat is often one of the most blocked areas in the human body. Why is that? Because this is a creative center where we speak our truth. And from a very early age, we're under pressure to speak other people's truth, like our parents. Do what they tell us to do, and say we like it, and say we love them. We may not have those feelings inside of us, but we learn if we're going to get fed or we're going to get loved, we have to start telling people what they want to hear. This creates a tension in our throat. And now we have to break that up. And then, of course, it goes to school and it goes into job and adulthood. If you spoke your truth, you might be shunned or alienated or fired or you don't know what. So most people do not speak their truth unless they're an artist or a rebel or something like that. They don't care, okay? They're totally independent. But here, we don't have to take this to the outer world. You can just break it up internally. Gold pearl. Breaking up patterns in the throat, circulating around the orbit. And the next level is jade pillow, the occiput, the midbrain, and third eye. So this has got the different systems called the third eye different things, but this is the Daoist system. This is the Tianmu, the third eye, okay? And you get the pineal on the back of your head. And in between, you've got these brain. So we're like coming through, and I go all the way down to the feet here, like a little bit higher, up and higher down, okay? Moving the gold pearl through the jade pillow, through the pineal, the midbrain, and the Tianmu, the third eye, and then down to just below your feet. Again, mixing the fire and the water energy to help dissolve blockages there. And Pineal gland and pituitary gland are often associated with the sun and moon, higher level of fire and water, but we still need to get them circulating and flowing in harmony with each other. Pineal gland is very sensitive to light and the sun. Pituitary gland is said to be connected to the moon and changes, and the master gland for controlling your sexual energy. So we're linking all of these together here, clearing them out. Tongue in the roof of the mouth. Keep a smile on your face. It's like water wearing away a rock. Qi is flowing gently through it. We don't have to like break anything open. We just dissolve it gradually. Just the movement of the fire and the water slowly dissolves any blockages. Okay, and then we're going to open up the crown of the head, and we're going to mix fire and water and have enough. We're going to do a figure 8 movement. Okay, so the figure 8 movement, crossing at our lower dantian. Okay, let's just say it goes up the spine, out the crown of the head, up, up, up above the head to the purple pole star or your guide star, and then it comes down, and it goes down to the center of the earth, to the gold pearl down there, through your navel center, up to the high heaven stars, the purple pole star, and you just start to make this figure 8 here. This is called the macro cosmic orbit. This is embracing heaven and earth and our body, integrating all three. All of these movements in phase 3 are from another form I teach called open Qi flow in the orbit. Again, we're just taking out this one movement here to make it short and simple for you. Okay, then you close it up and you come back down. Okay, you're down just to the third eye. A couple times each one. Down to the throat. A couple times at the throat, condensing everything. Down to the heart. Down to the solar plexus. And then to the original gold Qi ball turning in place. And finally, you just rest, holding that golden Qi ball in your lower dantian, breathing in and out, just feeling the energy in it that you've accumulated through all of these little mini orbits and the macro orbit. And just relax your hands. The more softer your hands are, the easier you can feel the Qi. Just notice the frequency of it, the density of it. Move your hands in and out, spiral a little bit, and just notice the change that you have affected, that you've caused through your communication with the life force directly. Okay.